There he is, the man that is
Hey,
half
man.
Cuban, Marcel Jacques.
Hey, man. I can get here so fast in this Miami traffic, bro. Like, I can only do so much. We're out the locker room at 3:15. I'm out the door by
That's how.
3:30.
I tell you, well, I am now measuring you as a sports writer by how fast you can get to your house, and I got to say, not very
I was
good.
about to say, I'll tell you what, I
Not
can hold
very
the phone. I can hold my phone with one hand, and I'll drive with the other if y'all want that next time. But, when I crash into the wall, that's going to be on you.
No, we want you safe, bro. We want you safe. We want you home and now ready to go and chat
Punctuality
Now you
itself
threw,
is
now you threw
very
the whole show off. By the way, now you threw the whole show off. Now we got to
punctuality.
push Omar back a few minutes.
If the comments want Omar, I'll hop off.
No. Forget the comments. The people will get Marcel, we'll get Omar, and we'll get Poopar. And
the viewers. We can't forget the viewers. Come on, don't do like that.
I never forget the viewers, but I'm the one that makes the calls here, not the viewers. Okay, so you push back Omar 10 minutes, and now you push back Poopar 10 minutes.
You know what you guys need to do? You guys need to get better at working off script. All right, we're off the structure. We're outside the structure of this show. I need you guys to improvise a little bit better.
Yeah, we are the kings of improvising with all of our insiders, bro.
Hey, that's how you do it, man. And that's why you're a top tier. That's why you're an upper echelon show. That's what crosses the threshold.
I tell you, bro. I tell you. All right, so the anger it's misplaced, right? I love Tua, as you know, and I back Tua, but we can't sit here and complain about the Pro Bowl voting, bro. I get Tua, because they come up with this silly stat. Well, he leads in QB voting and number one in votes, and he's the first guy not to get in. Well, the problem was, and Marcel, you didn't live this. Again, there's the old man car on your ass. Zach Thomas went through the same shit.
He's still going through the same, isn't he? Like, still waiting for him to get in the Hall of Fame, right?
And that's because he was in the era with Ray Lewis and Junior Seau and Steeler linebackers and Derek Brooks. And, there were so many guys. And he also had those issues at times with the Pro Bowl voting because his position was loaded. And that's what I would tell Dolphins fans out there. Does Tua deserve to be in the Pro Bowl? Does. But unfortunately, he happens to be in a conference where you're not going to take it away from Mahomes. You can't take it away from Josh Allen. And Joe Burrow more than deserves it after his Super Bowl run. And he's lived up to it again this year. Unfortunately, it's a numbers thing. It's not a thing that the NFL has it out for the Dolphins or Tua or anything. Look, I can say that they don't treat Tua the same way. Like your crazy assessment of him now that you want an off and all that stuff. I can go after things like that. This is fair. This is fine. And we're not going to go trashing three guys that deserve the honor.
I'm not going to take that bait, but I will add that, yeah, look, with Pro Bowlers when players are snubbed, we'll say snubbed, it's not, you can't just say they're snubbed. It always has to be they deserve it over this person. Like, you have to take somebody out in order to put somebody back in. You can't, it's not just like there's unlimited spots. So I can't necessarily argue him over, not even necessarily, I can't argue him over Mahomes, period. After the past few weeks that Josh Allen has had, coming back from that injury, it's really hard to say. It's really hard to put him in over Josh Allen. I could possibly put him in over Burrow, just because I feel like Tua's been a little bit more consistent than Burrow this year. But like, it's one of those there's not really a whole lot of wrong answers here. Like you said, it's a numbers game. And sometimes the numbers are going to be in your favor. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes you're going to sneak in there based on your name alone. Sometimes you're not. Like,
right.
He told us today. He just told us today. Yeah. He just told us today that he was surprised that he got in. He said the season has just been okay. I think personally, if I was a Dolphins fan, I'm raising more hell about Jalen Waddle being left off, but instead of Jamar Chase. I feel like Waddle deserved it over Chase right now. Yes, Chase has been hurt, but should that count against Jalen?
Correct.
Oh, it shouldn't count against Jalen. Waddle's been healthy all season. He's been consistent all season. He's been effective all season. I think he deserved that Pro Bowl nod, but it's not as big of a shock as Tua.
Following up and he's also following up a great year with an even better year, because last year was a great year. I don't care what anybody tells me, because he was the only guy on the team. You knew he was getting the ball, and you still couldn't stop it. And he got over 100 catches, over 1,000 yards in a very limited offense, and he played a completely different position, like a possession receiver. Had to do a lot of tough catches.
Yeah,
and all the different player last year showed you that he can be a different player. I have so much respect for Waddle, because he set up for the team last year and played a completely different position, where he goes to his natural position and he gets to play more of the downfield guy and all that. And that's who he was. That we knew who he was. But what he did last year was actually really special, because it takes a certain amount of toughness to be able to play like that all year long like that.
Yeah, and I wish I'm trying to quickly pull it up on Next Gen here. He was used so inappropriately last year. So, okay, for example, I've got it up on for 2022 right now. 70% of his targets have come with him lined up out wide. 80% of his snaps, he's lined up out wide. I think in 2021, those numbers are basically flipped. He spent 50% of his total snaps on the field playing out of the slot. That's where 50%, 52% of his targets came from. They basically, this coaching staff came in here, looked at tape from last year and said, are you crazy? Are you crazy? That's not how you use this guy. I'll show you how to use this guy. And of course, having Tyreek on the field helps. Like, let's not kid ourselves into saying it doesn't have an impact. It matters, but it's not like Jalen Waddle is just seeing zero coverage. Like, it's not like they're just disregarding him and he's running routes against air. Like, they still have to account for him. He's still a legitimate 1B weapon. There's plenty of teams with star wide receivers who don't have number twos with 1,100 receiving yards. Like, if he's technically a number two, he's the best damn number two in the NFL right now. Him and T. Higgins, I think, are kind of battling it out for that honor. So no, I think he deserved a Pro Bowl nod this year. It's unfortunate for him because he plays on the same team as the leading vote getter for all wide receivers. Like, he plays on the same team as possibly the best wide receiver in the NFL. And that is where I think we're going to see maybe the biggest impact of Tyreek Hill's presence are in these award ceremonies, in these award and Pro Bowl voting and all pro voting. People are going to disregard what Jalen Waddle does because Tyreek Hill is so good and he takes so much attention and he gets so much clout, so much energy to him that Jalen's going to go under the radar, man. And it sucks. It's not fair. It's kind of the reality of this, though. He's going to have to be, just exemplary in order to get a Pro Bowl nod. I'm talking, if Tyreek's got 1,500 yards by the time votes come out, Jalen's got to have like 14. They got to be like 1 and 2 in the league, I think, for people to actually, vote him in based on merit.
It'll be next year. And when he does it next year again, then that's when they'll do it, just like they did it for Holt and Bruce and the Marx brothers, or anybody, any combo out there that ended up getting the nod in the Pro Bowl. It's because you were dominant for a couple of years in a row, and then you cannot take it away from them. So I think that's here's the funny thing. It doesn't happen like this all the time, Marcel. So for you or for everybody else watching or listening, don't take it that way. This happens sometimes, and it's happening right now. Tua and Waddle have their first monster years. So next year, when they come back for monster years, there's a good chance they could get a nod to get into the Pro Bowl. X is now a year past what he was, and he doesn't deserve to get in. But this happens a lot where you get in a year later than you deserved to get in, and you're a year hanging on too long, then you deserve to get in because, like Drew Brees makes it at the final year when really we know he didn't deserve to be there, or Peyton Manning, or, sometimes there's these great players that are at the back end of their careers and they are still getting that nod because of what happened in their careers overall. So they get that respect. So it's funny because a lot of those guys probably didn't get the first year love that they deserve, and then they're getting that extra year on the back end. And that's
And look,
kind of the weird way it works sometimes with the Pro Bowl.
and Pro Bowl literally would not matter. It would not matter. It would mean nothing if there weren't contract incentives for it. I don't think Waddle has any escalators in his rookie deal. I think the only escalator in a rookie deal is if you're named to an All Pro team. No. It is Pro Bowl. It is Pro Bowl. It impacts the 5th-year option.
Armstead got like 600,000-700,000 or something, right? So
Yeah,
he got some money.
it impacts. No, I'm saying in rookie in your rookie contract, if you make one Pro Bowl, then your 5th-year option is worth X amount of money. If you make 2, then it's worth X, Y amount of money. So if there weren't contract escalators for it, then it wouldn't be that big of an issue. And I would say it's not worth getting upset about if you're a player. But when you've got money on the line and you feel like you deserved it, then hell yeah, you deserve to be upset. Then you deserve to be upset. Yeah. But I think he is a first alternate. That's about as high an honor, that's the highest honor you can get without actually making it, into the initial vote. And honestly, it's about the recognition anyways, right? Fans, you don't actually want your guys playing in this damn game or participating in this week's event. You want them playing. You want them preparing for their next opponent. So it's one of those things you get all up in arms about it right away. You can say, oh, snub this, snub that, this, that, and the third, and then you get over it because ultimately you don't even want your guys. You don't want Pro Bowlers on your team. You want them playing.
Yeah, no. The beauty is, listen, if he's not playing in the Super Bowl, he'll play in the Pro Bowl because one of those 4 guys will be in the Super Bowl. It's not going to be any other quarterback. It's going to be one of those 4 guys in the Super Bowl. So the 3 of those 4 guys automatically will be in, whatever the festivities are that week in Vegas, whatever the hell is going on. Do you cover that, by the way? Are they going to send you out for the?
That's a long flight and a lot of work, man. I think
you don't want to go to Vegas, right? You don't want to go to Vegas.
I've been to Vegas, dog. I've done my Vegas. I've done my Vegas time already, man. I went to Arizona State. It was only about 4 hours away. We would go to Vegas just because it's Thursday. We went to Vegas. I went to Vegas too many times. Coming back to my college apartment with $3.24 in my account. Waiting for the next director from Mob. That is not.
That is not. You still had some money left over. I'm impressed.
I have spent my last dollar as a college student. I have spent my last dollar for the next week or so on a damn $23 Red Bull vodka at is it Marquee? Whatever the pool day club is at the Cosmo. I don't think it's Marquee. It's I don't know. Somebody can find it. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I
remember doing it. I knew what I was doing when I did it. And I was like, look, man, you gotta change your ways. Yeah, you're not gonna get away with this for too much longer.
All right. So your thoughts on the game this week against Rodgers?
So I think where I'm looking right now, where I'm going to be looking and paying attention to the number is the time of possession. So during this losing streak, Miami ranks 31st in average time of possession per drive. Green Bay is number 1. Green Bay has been able to sustain scoring drives, and I think they're scoring on about 40% of 40% of their drives.
How many total runs does Green Bay have, and how many total runs does Miami have?
Well, see, that's the tough thing because I think obviously Green Bay's probably got the better backs with AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones.
Yeah,
but Miami, I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be fair and respectful. But Miami is pretty good at stopping the run. More often, they're good at stopping the run.
They've stopped all backs. They've stopped all backs. It's the quarterbacks that kill them. The backs really The backs really don't kill those guys, actually.
It is a quarterback. So, like, I'm not expecting them to just be able to run down Miami's throat. But Miami they have to do a better job. They have to do a better job of controlling the ball and controlling possession. Like the 3 and outs and putting, I don't care how much of a down year Aaron Rodgers has had this year. He's still Aaron Rodgers until proven otherwise. And you don't want to keep giving him opportunities. Like that is not that's not conducive. It's not a conducive environment to success. You keep letting that man on the field. So I think ball control is going to be critical. Early lead is going to be critical. Take the run game out of Green Bay's equation. Take that out of their game plan. Force them to throw the ball, and see what happens. Ultimately, though, like this game doesn't really matter. This game doesn't really matter. All of really what a win would do here, it's up here. It's mental. It's getting over the mental block of losing 3 games in a row. Because as I've said, you need to beat the Jets and you need to beat the Patriots, both of them. And you're in no matter what. You're in no matter what. You lose one of those games, all of a sudden it's like, oh, we need the Jags to win here and lose here and lose here. We need the Jets to win this game and the Bengals to lose this, and then this team ties and then that. And I don't like that kind of reporting because that is hard. It's hard. It's a lot of clicking around. It's a lot of math and a lot of tiebreakers. Forget all that.
We've lived for 5 years. I'm with you.
And it sucks. It sucks. We just did it last year. We did it last year after they lost to the. Actually, I think after they lost to the Titans, it was a dub. Right? It was. I think it was over. But hard way to live. Easiest way to live right now. There, you are still in an advantageous position to where if you win your games, you are in the playoffs.
313 to 370.
313 to 370.
Yep, 370 attempts for the Green Bay Packers rushing the ball, 313 for the Miami Dolphins. So that's
okay. I see what you're saying.
That's quite a bit of difference between the two.
I thought you were talking about like the yardage discrepancy or like what are the yards going to be?
No. I was trying to indirectly tell you it would help out if Mike McDaniel would run the ball when he can, because that would, of course, extend drives, might produce more points, keep your defense that's not very good off the field. I mean, there's like a lot of positives. Keep people off of Tua. Less people can hit Tua if you can run a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? All these kind of things come from running, and that's what I would like to see this week. If they have success running the football, my brother. Oh, by the way, one more thing. Tua becomes even more dangerous if you're running the football. Just do that.
Opens up the middle of the field, opens up, forces them into single high. And like as Wes Welker said today, if you want to play single high, go ahead. Please do it.
Right.
We beg you to play single high coverage on us. So what I'm curious, like what I just haven't seen a whole lot of, and when they do run it, it hasn't necessarily been effective, are those like the quick screens, the quick hits to Tyreek or to Jalen, and like, here, let's get the ball in your hands as fast as possible and then let you work with it. We haven't seen that at all. And that was like a good chunk of Tyreek Hill's targets last year where, at behind or just in front of the line of scrimmage. They haven't been trying that this year. They've definitely been stretching the field. Like this is definitely a Madden offense. Like somebody who's like, all right, I want the fun of playing offense. I don't want the grind. I don't want the realism. I don't want to play to wear defenses down. Like I'm over here to clear my mind out and have a good time. And that's how the Dolphins play offense. There ain't nothing wrong with that because you want to
to the credit of the teams the last couple of weeks, they have gotten in the face of the receivers because they were kind of almost anticipating some of that stuff. That's the part that, like, with the coach this week, when you guys asked him about, running, and he said he wanted to stay ahead of the defenses and all that stuff. And it's like, well, wait a minute, dude, you either fail. And then the other part was, if you looked at it, you kept trying to pass, and yet they weren't giving you 7, 8, 9 yards of comfort zone there like they normally do. That they give you all that space. To the credit, after San Fran and after the Chargers, People are now crowding the line of scrimmage, and they're right there with the receivers. So that's one of the things that changed, and why those screens did not work last week, because they had a defender right there in their face.
Yeah, and I also, just to clarify, it would be disappointing for sure to lose this game on Sunday. You don't want to lose 4 games in a row in December. It does not matter in terms of their playoff viability, their playoff hopes. It will have a minuscule impact on their playoff chances. But you don't want to lose 4 damn games in a row in December after failing
mentally.
This entire road trip.
No, you don't do that, bro. Confidence-wise and mentally, devastating game.
That's what I said.
About your playoffs.
It's mostly up here.
In a row.
You win this game on Sunday. But we're talking about playoffs. We're talking about playoffs. We're talking about their playoff chances. It doesn't impact that. But mentally, mathematically, no impact. Mentally, it'll mean a lot. Be able to defend your turf, to get back, right the ship a little bit, to stop the sink. Because then all of a sudden you start to think, oh, okay, well, how long does this go? Those thoughts start to creep in the back of your head. Are we going to lose 5 in a row? Are we really going to lose 6 in a row? And 6 in a row and miss the playoffs because we couldn't win a game in December after spending all year talking about how important playing your best football is in December? So, it would be a strong boost to the locker room morale, to people's mental morale. And, that's about that. But, in order to make the playoffs, no matter what, you beat the Patriots, you beat the Jets. You could win or lose this game, tie this, man.
By the way, in Philadelphia, they're feeling the same way about their defensive tackle like Miami does. Javon Hargraves has 10 sacks from the defensive tackle position, and he's not in the Pro Bowl. So it's rough, and it happens a lot in the NFL. All right, I got to let you go. Prediction: what do you got? What happens on Sunday? Because we're not going to talk to you till post game.
I think we see a comfortable win for Miami here. They get back on track. I'm seeing at least 10 points here. Control the clock. They're back at home. It's going to be a little chilly, but nothing serious, nothing that Green Bay ain't used to. But we see that offense heat that stadium up, man. 100 yards for Tyreek, 100 yards for Jalen.
Does Tua dominate off script?
I think he does, and I think a lot of people eat crow. See, look here, man, real quick, because the difference here, Alan told me that you guys agreed on the whole off-script thing. I don't think that's something for you to be happy about. Alan thinks he's not capable. Alan thinks he's not capable.
He'll tell your ass that you're not looking at him right. That's all.
I think he's capable of doing it. It's just part of his development. I don't think he can't do it. Alan thinks he can't do it. I don't think it's something you don't want to be seeing it on the same. You don't want to be eye to eye with them on that.
I know what you're talking about, dude. The Ravens. He does the little spin.
We've seen it. Yeah, we've seen it. He can do it.
Of course he can do it.
Nah, bro. Y'all are wild about. Some of y'all are wild about the things that you choose to get upset about. Because I've been saying the same, John, for 4 weeks. Everybody on the sideline during the Niners and Chargers game. Yup, you're right, bro. Spit facts, bro. Spit facts.
He's not
going to. All of a sudden, last week, well, what do? You don't even like Tua anymore, dude. You don't even do this.
No.
Out of here.
It's just he's not. When you say that, you make it sound like he needs to be like Russell Wilson or Pat Mahomes or living off script, and he can't do that. Every quarterback can do something off script. You know what I mean? Look, the two guys who win the Super Bowl, Matt Stafford and Joe Burrow, they're not really off script guys. Now, can they?
I think Burrow. I think Burrow is.
But
I think don't disrespect. You could be a pocket passer, but you have to be able to, especially in just today's NFL, you gotta be able to go all that. But all I've said, I'm typically very concise, very clear about what I'm saying. And I've said Tua has been excellent this season. The next step for him is to go more off script, is to be able to do this off script. Nowhere did I say in order to be a good quarterback, in order for them to win, it's just, it's constant up and to the right. Football's constant development. That is the next step in his development. I've never said he can't throw the ball deep. Matter of fact, I was on y'all's side about the deep ball shit. I was on y'all's side.
I know you're on my side.
Check my receipts.
That's it. No, I'm with you. You were definitely there.
I got me.
It's just a little.
Y'all got me a word I can't say up, man.
You can. Maybe you don't want it getting back to ESPN, but you're not going to get in trouble here by saying it. So it's all right. So you got the Dolphins winning. Follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ and catch his work there at ESPN. Marcel, much love. Be safe. We'll catch you on Sunday.
See y'all Sunday.
You got it. There you go. Don't forget myedgedrink.com. Energy drink on the planet. When you order it, go to myedgedrink.com. Use our code BIG-O. Get 10% off when you use our code BIG-O, and it is the best elixir out there. I'm telling you, whatever sports drink you think you like now, this one will blow you away. Zero aftertaste. It is delicious. It is smooth, only 78 calories. myedgedrink.com. Use our code BIG-O.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.